Hi, Ian. Hi, Eve. Nothing like starting a live broadcast with the dog barking, right? Hang on, I gotta sign in. We're gonna try this in the browser. Oh, see if it works. See that. I don't want to be signed in as myself. I know that sounds funny. I'm gonna sign in on my other account. And I want to be in Chrome. Don't redirect me. Ay, ay, ay. This shouldn't be this hard. Watching in the app is a problem because I keep getting a frozen screen. I don't know what the deal is. We will just, I don't have to do anything but see the chat. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm here. Woohoo. I can see the broadcast. I can see the chat. Woohoo. All right. I'm good. It's been a little bit of a crazy morning, but then I say that a lot. So when are my mornings not crazy? No, if those of you who are here right when I went live, you heard the dog barking. I can't guarantee he won't bark on and off. I have a feeling the neighbors' gardeners are next door working on the yard. He really hates gardeners. Oh, you're so welcome. I know Sue Hennessy got hers today too. So yay. I have one giveaway gift yet to mail, and that's because the person who won it hasn't gotten back to me with their mailing address. So hopefully that'll happen soon. Otherwise, I'm going to have to redraw. So, but I'll let you guys know. Those who don't know, I've written a book. It's a creative art book, but it's not. It's a self-help book, but it's not. So if you really have something in your life, creative or otherwise, that you really have wanted to do, that you're maybe blocked, and you're not sure why, or you're not sure how to proceed forward, to do this thing in your life to make you happy. My aunt, for instance, who helped me with the book and is working in the book, she is a singer, and she has certain singing goals that she's never managed to make, and she hasn't been able to figure out why and work her way through them. This book and working through this book is helping her with that. Now, this book isn't going to tell you, do this, do this, do this, you'll get there. This book will ask you a lot of questions that'll in turn hopefully lead you to the answers that you need. The blurb on the back says, do you want to have a more creative, self-expressive life? I do. Here are some things I use to keep myself on track. They work for me. Who knows? They might work for you too. Anyway, this book is in its printed form available in my Etsy shop. Every single copy is signed in the front cover. And I signed them all. And also, every time I get a shipment and I sign them. So you can buy them in the Etsy shop. You can also get it as a PDF version. We're working on, I don't have a we, it's just me. I'm working on trying to get the PDF version listed on Amazon, which is easier said than done. It has to be converted to a Kindle-friendly format, which is not easily done, and it screws up the formatting. And anyway, so that's going to be a long time in coming. I can't figure out the problems with that. For now, you can get the PDF version from me or the printed version in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description below in today's and all future videos. There's also some vinyl labels that I've created with my artwork on them, some large ones. They are expensive. They're $5 each, but they're big. They're very large. So they're good for like the backs, not only journals and journal covers, but like you could use, they're the kind of label that you could use on the back of a MacBook or your iPad or something like that too. So they're a nice big high quality vinyl full color label. We're going to move the book out of the way now that that spiel is over because we don't want to get paint on it. That's actually one that's for sale. Oh, good. I'm glad, Lacey, and welcome. And I saw something about that petroleum jelly for, I don't know what we're using for petroleum jelly for. Okay, so somebody catch me up. While you're catching me up, we did the spiel. Support me, support my art, support my YouTube channel by please shopping in my Etsy shop. Whether you buy the book and or stickers or something else, shop in the Etsy shop. That's a great way to support the channel and the continued free content. We do have a free journaling program for 2017 coming up, and I say we, in this instance, me and my Facebook group, and it's 3 sister groups. Jerry Bellini's My Arts and Parts, Ann Williamson's, Annalisa's Mixed Media. She just changed the name, and I can't remember the name of it, but there should be a link somewhere. I don't know. And then Cindy Utter's Artsy Endeavors. There should be links in the description below. If there's not, somebody remind me and I'll add it later. Anyway, there's going to be a free journaling program going on for 2017, and you have to be a member of one or all of the groups to get it. Oh, cool. As a resist for watercolor and ink painting. Okay. Yeah, I would think Vaseline would work as for all kinds of things. Now, Vaseline would probably work as a resist, but we're going to talk a little bit about protecting our hands and our skin, right? So working with art materials, even if they're craft quality, you should just get in the habit of protecting yourself. Of course, your clothing and everything, but you know, some of the pigments are toxic. So you want to put on some kind of a barrier cream on your hands if you're not okay with wearing gloves, which I really hate wearing gloves. This is Winsor Newton's Art Guard, but there's lots of different ones out there. And I bet petroleum jelly, otherwise in the States known as Vaseline, would probably also work to a certain extent as a barrier cream. I've never done that and tried to paint with it on my hands, but I use Art Guard. It's not greasy. It's got some moisturizing properties, but it helps keep the things from penetrating into your skin. Now, as far as resists are concerned, I don't know about if we're talking about acrylic paint or watercolor. Today we're doing Monday with DecoArt, so we're doing mostly acrylic paint. But you know, you can use masking fluid with acrylic paint. Ian is saying that you can use petroleum jelly or Vaseline, which is interesting. You can also use like wax or a waxy crayon with watercolor. I don't think that's going to work with acrylic paint. You might be able to use an oil pastel, because you shouldn't be able to put acrylic over oil, but you can put oil over acrylic. So if you have oil down here first and you put acrylic over it, the acrylic should come right off. All right, this got cake. This is a really old canvas. This is from probably, see, it's not even dated. This is from probably 2007, 2006. This is back from my craft shop days when I had a booth in an arts and craft shop, and I did baby diaper cakes and things like that. And this was actually the sign that was in my booth. So we are going to take this canvas and we're going to paint over it. We're going to do something abstract, I think. Donna Mulholland inspired. I've got a few stencils here I pulled. 2 of them are Andy Skinner stencils. This one is Code Breaker, and this one is Tread Carefully. Hey, Corey, how are you? So I think we might use one or both of those. I also have this one that I cut from a design that's of mine that's available in the Etsy shop. You can't buy the stencil, but you can buy the design to use in your stencil cutting machine like a silhouette. Okay. And it's just these, you know, doodly arrows. All right. But let's first cover up the got cake and all of this brown. I'm going to start. We have our Americana paints out, but I also have some DecoArt Traditions artist paints out, which are both acrylic paints. Is aquamarine, which I can't get open. And I'm not going to even like put it on a palette. I'm just going to put it right on the canvas. Hey, Cindy. Oh, there we go. Having trouble getting the paint pots open this morning. So I'm just putting it right on the canvas. We're not even gonna, at least not yet. I want a big brush. Let's see. Yeah, there's gardeners or somebody out there. The dog's gonna be barking. So I have no plan. I don't always have a plan. I frequently have no plan. And, you know, like I've said before, it may turn out looking like poop. I don't know. We're just going to play and have fun with some paints. Now, the background on this one is not interesting at all. So I think that we're going to mostly, you know, talk about trying to cover this up. I think that's going to be the focus today. I'm going to put some, I'm in a blue mood. And I don't mean that like I'm depressed. I really like blue. So I have this one that's really pretty. That's called Ocean Blue. I don't think I have one that's open. Let's see. I have all these extra DecoArt paints. And yes, if I'm talking funny, I have a cough drop in my mouth. Right? Hey, Nancy. Yeah, this turquoise color, the aquamarine, so much better than the brown. I mean, you know, the brown served its purpose. You know, it was an old craft booth sign, and so it served its purpose very well. But when the shop closed and the shop went out of business, you know, it was, you know, I really had no use for the sign anymore. Cake sounds good. Cake always sounds good. Not working from any wet reference photos. We're just winging it. No, you know, the United States Customs and Imports evidently is just like not even allowing it to be shipped in the country because it's not been approved by the FDA. Our federal drug something. Okay. Got it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit too, Cindy. Okay. I know, right? So I can't even get it if I even wanted to. I can't get it. So here's another fun color. This is dioxazine purple, which is a really dark purple. Oop. And you notice I'm using fancy tools. That was a joke, people. Fancy tools. And for me, you know, doing something that's abstract is really about creating a painting that conveys some sort of feeling to the viewer with layers of color and marks. Trying to remember to get the sides here. Yeah, I don't know. Cinnamon Cooney got a tube of it. I don't know how that happened. I'm not going to ask. It's none of my business. I just know that one of you very kind viewers tried to send me a tube and was told that that's not possible. So that's not happening, unfortunately. Now if I put yellow on here, if I get it mixed in with the purple, it's going to turn brown. So if I put any yellow, I have to be really careful. I do think we're going to hold off on that for a second. And let's use a stencil and maybe a neon. You guys are talking about sweet treats. That's just not right. I'm supposed to be watching what I eat. Well, I'm always supposed to be watching what I eat. Sometimes I just watch it go in and go out. Okay. So all this paint is really wet, so normally I put on a layer and I let it dry. I really should have a book underneath the canvas. We're going to just put that there. And we're going to do this. Hey, you know, we're not getting any younger. I can't just go out and binge eat whatever I want anymore and expect to be skinny. It doesn't work that way, damn it. I wish it did. How come everyone I pick up is sealed? Let's try this one. Same one. No. This is Aqua Sky. Ah, a face. Well, you know, there's no reason why we can't put a face on here. I'm just catching up with that. I got lost in, you know, painting the painting. There's no reason we can't put a face on here and start with an abstract background and end up putting a face on it. You know, that happens sometimes. And I like my Buddhas anyway, even if we do put a Buddha on here, to be in a kind of abstract random background. Let's see. Geez, Buddha is something I could probably do with my eyes closed at this point. Sponge wasn't quite cutting it, so we're going to try with the stencil brush. Yeah, it's a little better. So if you're going to try doing some kind of interesting face, like the Buddha face, I think, in my opinion, they're best done on a interesting background. So get out one of your canvases that just kind of has an abstract background. You know what? Let's do a Buddha face that's like purple and blue instead of my normal like blue and green. Let's have the dioxazine purple be our dark color. That is an interesting idea. Hey, Patricia. Okay, so in that case, let's get out the dioxazine purple. And let's get out some of the aquamarine. These are both the DecoArt Traditions paints. We've got our neon white. Okay, Ian, see you later. And we will put out, what is this one is? Aqua Sky. We're going to use some, I want to use wisteria. I don't think so. I'm thinking about colors, people. Let's see. Let's try Calypso Blue. You notice I have a lot of blues on the palette. We're doing blue and purple, I thought I said. Didn't I say? Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. Let's start with those because I think those will work. I'm going to start with a kind of wider flat brush. This is a Master's Touch flat. I think it's a 1-inch flat, but the handle's all gooped up, so I don't know. So Cindy suggested we take our kind of abstract start on a background and put a Buddha face on there. That's not a bad idea. And I kind of want to just do it this way. I kind of don't even want to turn the canvas. So, or do I, now that I said that? Right? I like blue and purple. I think we're going to go this way. And we're going to start with the dark. Now, because this is acrylic, and with acrylic, you can start with any, nope, the other way. Like this, Cindy? While we're waiting for Cindy to answer, with acrylic, you can, nope, reverse. This way. Maybe? So with acrylic, you can start with any. You can start with your darks. You can start with your lights. It doesn't matter because you can always paint over it. Okay, cool. So the first thing I always do is, when I'm doing Buddhas at least, is I always map out the outside edge of the Buddha's face. And I do have reference photos I work from sometimes. I also have finished Buddha faces all over my office. But there are references to like Buddha statuary and things all over the internet. I do recommend, especially if you're going to do a piece that's going to be for sale, go to Paint My Photo. And get something from there. Corey, are you talking about me and Cindy? Yeah, we're a crack up. You should see the two of us when we get together. I think we might make the husbands completely insane. So when I do acrylics, I tend to normally go with the dark colors and then work my way lighter. But, you know, I flip around back and forth. Cindy's a good friend of mine, but I think we're kind of insane. But I think she would agree. So you're not going to always get your proportions, you know, exactly right with anything that you do, and that's okay. You guys aren't going to be able to see some of this because I'm doing like dark on dark. And I'm just rough mapping out the basic shape of the face. And you know, I'm not going to treat anything too preciously. Saying we're completely nuts, Cindy. I'm just going to rough map out the face. I'm not treating anything too preciously. If I put something somewhere I don't like it, I can always paint over it or wipe it back with a baby wipe, which, you know, baby wipes are fabulous and we should just get one out because, you know, I'm going to need it at some point. Hey, Lisa. All right, so now I'm going to take one of my blues, which is still a cool color, but you know, you can take your range of cool colors on the cool side of your color wheel and create a painting from them, because of the cool colors, the blues and purples, some of them are cooler than others, right? So you can, you know, the aqua and turquoise colors are cooler or warmer because they're on the kind of towards the green end. I'm going to start with this one, which is the Calypso Blue. And all of this paint is super wet, which is okay because this is going to just blend with what's on there and create another interesting color, which we're okay with. And I'm going to work on creating depth by working my way from the shadowy parts of the face that are farther away from the viewer to the lighter parts. Oh, thanks, Patricia. I love, you know, you all know, you've been watching me long enough to know that I don't like doing faces in traditional colors. It's not my thing. Probably because I'm a, you know, closet perfectionist and I'm never happy with the fact that it doesn't look like the photograph. There's a little, probably something about me y'all didn't know. If you don't, you know, you're not good friends with me, then you probably didn't know that little tidbit. So the other thing you can do is don't, you know, again, don't treat anything too preciously. This is a cake and frosting spreader from Dollar Tree. And I'm just giving the piece some interest and pulling and dragging the paint. I know you're probably all going, what? Stop, just stop. It's just paint, people. So now we'll bring back some of the lines that we lost. And you'll notice I switched to a palette knife again. Every time I do a face, there's always some part of the face that gives me a harder time than others. Sometimes it's the nose, sometimes it's the lips. Every time it's different though. Hey Joe, how are you? I started out with no plan, thinking we were going to just do something abstract, and then a Buddha was suggested, so we're going to try that. It's not like I've never done one before, so I kind of like the colors we're getting in here already. I'm still just working with the two colors, the Calypso Blue by Americana and the Dioxazine Purple by DecoArt Traditions. I haven't really, to the Buddha's face at least, brought in any other colors. Oh, except now I got some white on there because that got on there by mistake. That's all right. See, easily remedied. Oh, thanks. Yeah, you guys need to have fun with your paintings and your mixed media. Don't feel like just because you're painting, a face that you have to use just flesh tones. Have fun with it and experiment and try something different. It's a pretty good start. I'm kind of wanting to stay with this brush, and I don't know that I even want to necessarily wipe it. I'm going to just wipe it on the canvas. Okay, we're going to go with our next color, which is, what color is this? This is the aquamarine. Which, because it's got more green in it, even though we're still kind of in the cool side of the color palette, this has more green in it because it's aquamarine, so it's on the green end, so it's a warmer color. So it's going to start giving our face here some pop and making those places on the face that would normally be lighter and brighter because they're closer to the viewer, make them look like they're sticking out from the background. The only challenge with this particular Buddha face, unlike most of the ones I do, is normally I would get it to the point where you see it now and I would let it dry before I keep going. I don't usually paint with everything wet like this unless I'm on camera. And yeah, painting with a palette knife or switching to your left hand, your non-dominant hand, for me, that would be the left. Those are fun ways to, paint and really, break up your marks and get them really nice and loose. And if you have trouble with your paintings being tight, like I do, that's a great way to solve that problem. The lips are not quite right. I've got a littler brush. We're going to go in with the lightest color, which is, what is this again? Aqua Sky. Yep. So palette knife, you're going to get some really great loose marks, Lisa. Last week's painting, we did a still life, and I used the palette knife for the whole thing and my fingers. It is very painterly, Joe. I also just think it's interesting. If I'm going to paint a painting that's going to hang on the wall somewhere at some point that I'm going to look at every day, I want it to be something interesting. And when you're doing one like this and all of your, you know, paint is wet like mine is, and it's really about the marks and the secondary colors that you're going to get because the paint is mixing together. It really does give you something super, super interesting. And I'm not, you know, I'm just literally putting the right marks in the right place, or at least hopefully the right place. We're hoping it's kind of in the right place to give us something interesting. Normally my Buddhas are blue and green, but I'm just feeling the purple today, so we're going to go with that. Fingers are fabulous tools. So are baby wipes. Okay, that's good. Let's pull this over here. The other thing I was always told early on by a teacher, and I honestly don't remember which teacher. It could have been anybody. It might have been Pauline Agnew, but I don't think so, is that you really shouldn't do a headless face. I mean, a floating face, a face with no neck. You want to anchor it by putting a neck. I love this dark purple, and I love it no matter the brand. But there's something about that dark purple pigment that it's one of my favorite purple colors. Okay, so now I'm going to go back with the darker color. And I'm going to just firm up some of my lines and see. No floating heads. Oh, Yinmin Blue is a brand new pigment developed by a college in Oregon, but for whatever reason, it's not approved by the FDA here in the United States yet. And I think the only paint company that's doing paint with it is Derivan. I would love to get a tube so that we could play with it. There is a YouTube video by, I think, Jerry's Artorama, where they have compared it with other blue colors. One of them, I think, being ultramarine blue. All right, so we're going to do something about, I'm having trouble here with the lips, so let's fix it, shall we? All right, so I think part of the problem is I'm seeing some of the brown around here that I'm not liking. So let's cover it up. Let's go in with a lighter color. Yeah, the best place to get your palette plates is the dollar store. Whatever one you have in the area you live in, for me, it's Dollar Tree, but everybody's different. And that's the best place to get your palette plates from. They cost $1. You know, they work just as well as the expensive ones from the art supply store, but they're a fraction of the money. So I'm actually going in with some white here. They clean off really well. They don't stain. I have a big, issue with palette plates that stain. They just drive me crazy. After a while, they just look so dirty that it just makes me completely insane. And I know that's not rational because look, I know that, but it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. And look at these. When you paint this way, you can save these baby wipes and use them later. It does. I have no patience, Corey. I have the patience of a gnat, like literally. Oh, yeah. You should have seen me this morning trying to figure out how to get my book to convert to something that would be readable on Amazon. And that shit's just not happening right now because I couldn't figure it out. Pardon my French. So just remember when you're doing a face, any face, the face is round, right? It's so the parts that are closer to you are going to be lighter and warmer, and the parts that are farther away are going to be cooler, right? And it is helpful if you struggle with that to have a reference photo, even if your face looks nothing like the reference photo when you're done, to just have it on your table while you're painting so that you can, remember or remind yourself about what colors go where. I want a smaller brush. We're going to go Filbert, my favorite. Yeah. I always tell people, Corey, my middle name is neither Grace or Patience because I'm probably one of the clumsiest people you'll ever meet and have absolutely no patience for almost anything. Except for maybe this kind of thing, which is kind of weird because I really don't have patience for anything else. So while I have this purple on here, I'm going to mix it with one of my blues and a little bit of white. Now you do want to have like a pop color. Hey, Sim. Yeah, I'm not graceful. It's a good thing that I didn't decide to be a dancer for, a profession because Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a bad choice because that shit would be funny. Maybe I should have been. I think I'd rather be painting than making it fool of myself on stage. I like where this Buddha face is going. So one of the things you can do if you're worried about the proportions, like of the outside of your face, if your dark shadow color is like the same or a similar color to your background, like up here, then it just sort of blends in one to the other. And you've suggested the shape of your face rather than drew it like down here. I'm kind of liking this down here, so I'm going to leave it. But you could just do something dark like up here down at the bottom. I'm looking at the picture in the screen just to see what the proportions are like, because usually when I do these, I'm also standing up at my easel. I do these when I'm sitting down for the camera. It's not bad. I have a clock in the background that was a wedding present from my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, who's my father-in-law is now passed away, and it has a chime, and you guys frequently hear it in the background. It's been commented on a few times. I have to stand up a minute. Hang on. It's better. Her neck was a little like lopsided. Oh, thanks, Nancy. Yeah, so we've had it, the whole time we've been married. So I'm going to use the neon pink as my pop color. And it's going to, all this paint is wet, so it's going to blend. That's okay. And I'm literally just dabbing it on. I need more of it though. So you want a color that's going to really make it pop. For me, it's going to be this pink. And I like using the neons. Be aware that if you create a piece like this that you really love, and you've used neon colors on it and you want to scan it later, you can't. You have to photograph it because the neon colors don't scan well. Yeah, the new computer is working great. I have noticed since the iOS update on the iPad that I have to watch the live broadcast, whether it's my own or someone else's. At first, I thought it was my own. It's not. I tried to watch a couple others over the weekend. That the screen keeps freezing in the YouTube app. If I'm watching in the browser on my iPad, no freezing. So there's that little bit of a tip for you guys that are watching on a smart device. If you're having problems with your screen freezing, switch to your browser. I'm using Chrome right now. And my new computer's working great. There are a few things I need to figure out how to do. You know, which is true for every new computer system, whether, you know, I had switched to Windows 10 or went to the Mac, it wouldn't have made any difference. So I have to figure out how to do a few things. So these are the only colors I've used so far. I don't think I'm going to use any other colors. I think this is enough choices for me. The new computer system is a Mac system, and it is much faster to do a lot of things on. I will give it that. I'm glad I made the switch, but I have to learn how to do some things I used to do in Microsoft Publisher in a different program. My daughter says I need to learn Illustrator. So I'll have to look into that. I haven't had a chance to with trying to get the book finished and everything. So let's try some white. Yeah, I am doing things in non-traditional skin tones. Part of that's out of frustration. When I was first learning, you know, I thought if I was going to do a face, it had to be perfect and realistic. And that meant I had to get the flesh tones exactly right. And, you know, when I discovered that that wasn't true and that I could do something, you know, crazy in goofy colors, that really made me happy. And I love the effect that you get. So there's always something that gives me fits, though. On this one, it might be the lips. I don't know. So when I add a new color or mixture of colors, I do also try not to add it just in one place and to put it in a couple places. And I try to just layer my marks. Yeah, the non-traditional colors just to appeal for most of us to the creative side of us more than, you know, I'm not Rembrandt. I'm never going to be Rembrandt. So, you know, trying to do something in that style is all well and good, but that, you know, I have no patience. I said this already. That just, you know, it makes me mad and frustrated when I can't paint like him. And art should be fun and not frustrating. So there's a whole little spiel not a lot of people know about me. Unless you know me. If you know me, you're like nodding your head. Cindy's probably in her art room nodding her head going, yeah, that sounds like Gina. So now I'm just refining my colors and you know, making sure I've got all the shadows where I want them. And if I don't, then I have my, you know, baby wipes handy, and I've got other stuff handy. I do think it's starting to get a little tight, and I'm trying a little too hard. So we're going to get in here with the baby wipe and probably back in here with the palette knife. I do like to blend with the baby wipe and or just wipe things off. Look at that baby wipe. Time to get a new one. I did too. My house growing up had all white walls. My house that I live in now has no white walls. When we go to sell, we're going to have to repaint like every room. Because not only have we lived here a long time, so the house probably needs painting, but yeah, nothing is white. You know, it's like her head is turned a little bit. I didn't anticipate doing that, but I kind of like that it turned out that way. Okay, we're gonna do something really crazy, maybe. I don't want to use this one. I don't know that we want to do that. I take that back. I was going to do something crazy, but I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, there's not a single room in our house that the walls aren't heavily textured. That's not my doing, though. Our house was built in 1969, and I think that was probably the thing then. But none of our walls are white. When we first moved in, of course, everything was white. But yeah, over the years, that's changed a lot. So, you know, flip around from your, you know, start dark and work your way lighter, and then go to your lightest color, and then switch back to your darkest color. Just work in layers. It's going to be, you're going to be happier with the results. Hopefully. I don't know. Hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, my next house will probably have walls that are more neutral. I can't guarantee they will be white, but more neutral, because they'll be just covered in artwork. We always start off redecorating by, you know, saying we're not going to put so much stuff back on the walls. Yeah, that only lasts for about 5 minutes. It doesn't last long. My art room will always be some shade of turquoise, though. That I know for sure. Even my laundry room, it's lavender. There's the clock again. Yeah, not long ago, the chime stopped working on the clock. It is a very old clock. We've been married a while. And my husband likes that clock so much that he actually went on the internet and found a replacement chime that had the exact same sound. So we're almost done, I think. I like the way she's turning out. This is definitely a girl, I'm feeling. That's okay. You know, I think it's just that time of year. My husband has um, doctor appointments. My daughter has doctor appointments. It's just that time of year. For me, it's March. All my checkups seem to be in March. And of course, you know, we're not spring chickens anymore, and the husband's had a few health scares. So that means I have to go to the doctor with him. And he always makes his appointments for like the butt crack of dawn. So, you know, I'm not looking forward to that. But staying home would do me no good either. So I would just be worried. Um, you know, the idea is always that I'm going to sell it. But in reality, I don't sell too much. I think that's because most of you all are not in California and shipping is not cheap. And you're probably all like me and you have limited wall space. So that's why I started the Etsy shop and started putting up at least like reprints and, you know, the small like sticker sets and things like that in the Etsy shop, so that you could have like a little smaller piece of artwork. But all of the artwork you've seen me do is for sale. And if there's a particular piece you're interested in, email me. My email address is in the description below. Um, I only have so much wall space in my house, and right now I got to tell you, it's full. Like it's full. Like every single wall is full. there's there's no spare space in my house anywhere. So if there's something that you want to see in your house and you would like to inquire about buying, then please email me. Yeah, I'm supposed to go see my cardiologist. Um, it's time again. I was born with a mitral valve issue. It's not a serious issue, but you know, every few years I've got to go get it checked. So my primary care doctor said, when was the last time you had this checked? And I had to be honest and say, I don't remember. So she said, can you call them? That was like in March. I still haven't done it yet. Because, you know, I just, you know, I live in denial. Her chin's not exactly right. So we're going to work on the chin. Let's see. We're going to just do this. That's better. Her face looks less cockeyed now. It was looking a little goofy. See, I need some more of that dark purple. I know the pink makes it pop. Now, I've always used, since the very early days of mixed media, before I honestly really ever even knew much about what mixed media was, I've always used neons as my pop color, my color that really, made things kind of stand out. And I've used Americana, and that's not something I say because I'm on the Helping Artists program or anything. That's just because I love Americana neons. There's no other reason. And they're affordable, they're inexpensive, and I love to use the neons as my pop color. That being said, like I said earlier, they don't scan well. So if you create a piece that you want to reproduce in any form that has neon on it, you're probably going to need to photograph it instead of scan it. I have to stand up now. Let's see. Oh, there we go. She's almost done. Does anybody have any questions while we're finishing her up? Now, normally, when I do these kind of canvases, usually the background that we're going over is light and bright. This one's not. It was that dark chocolate brown. So I'm going to try not to, when I'm rubbing back these colors and blending, not to rub too much. I don't think I want too much of that brown showing through. She's looking really cute, though. And I'm liking these like jagged marks right here along her nose. Well, the replay is going to be on YouTube. You know that. And like somebody asked me before about what I do with my paintings, they're all for sale. Nothing is not for sale. So if there is something that you've seen me paint on one of these broadcasts or in a video recording that you like, you let me know and email me and we'll work it out. We'll work out the payments and all of that stuff. It probably isn't going to cost as much as you think it might because I'm not, that well known of artists. So I don't think it'll surprise you guys, though, when I do sell paintings, I sell a lot of Buddhas. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop now because I really like where she's at. And boy, does that look like I have had a good time. Look at that yumminess. And look at these paper towels. Paper towels. What are these? Baby wipes. So you totally can hang these baby wipes up and let them dry and use them in your collage. I've actually got another one in the trash. I don't always do that because now I have like a million of them, but you can. But look at that. Not fun. So she's super cute. I have all this paint left over. Of course, we won't waste it. I'll put it in a journal or something. Thanks. I did not know we were going to do a Buddha today. That's a surprise to me. Miss Cindy suggested it. She's the troublemaker. It's all her fault. But don't be afraid to just try something new. We used, except for the pink, which is a super warm color, everything else on here was pretty cool. And we just used varying shades of cool colors. Oh, in the back over here. Oh, no, you know what she needs? She needs some of that. She does look very African. And you know, a lot of my girls do. And I don't know why that is. I think there's something, I don't know. I won't even say because I have no idea. Just I paint without thinking about it, and that's how they turn up. Oh, that's not enough water. There we go. There we go. Oh, I got paint all over my iPad. It's not the first time. Won't be the last time. Binary Buddha. Yeah, there you go. There's something about that binary stencil that I love. Whoops. Hold on, guys. I'm going to have to clean up my iPad. It's a mess now. Thank you. Yeah, I love her too. But all of my paintings are for sale. So if you've seen me paint something, her or something else that you love, email me. All of them are for sale. A lot of them get photographed and put into the Etsy shop at some point. I am behind on that because it's just me, and my daughter's a photographer, so I have to get her over here to photograph a bunch of the new stuff. All right. I am going to wash my hands because now I'm all icky. But it's a good kind of icky. I always get it down my arms. Does that happen to anybody else? I don't even know why. All right. That's it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. Leave something in the comments on the video once the recording goes live to YouTube. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to support my channel and my artwork, please go over to my Etsy shop and go shopping. We do have the free journaling program, so don't forget to go over to my Facebook group and join, and also the other ones if you do Facebook, because you won't get the links to the videos unless you're in Facebook. And we're doing the introductions right now. For these 3 weeks of October, we're doing the introductions. The first one aired last Monday. The second one is going up today, or did go up today, and the third one will go up next week. All right, see you all later. Don't forget the most important thing. Go out, have a great day, do something nice for yourself because you deserve it, like maybe pay to crazy Buddha. All right, that's it, everybody. Talk to you later.